eu sei que eu devo satisfação para vocês, mas na live de hoje a gente vai conversar com uma pessoa muito legal, que ela tá lá no Japão.
Salve, galera.
Bom dia, boa tarde, boa noite para vocês que estão em diferentes áreas aí do mundo, espalhados pelo mundão. E a gente tem tanta coisa para contar para vocês, tanta novidade. Mas antes de tudo, vamos mostrar nosso escudo, né, Guilherme? Porque salve, meu povo! Estamos escudados com a nossa marca. Se você ainda não tem essa camisa maravilhosa, esse é seu momento de adquirir. Vamos lá. Então, enquanto o Guilherme manda o meu link para ela, para a gente poder adicionar ela aqui no... Ela pode mandar o request, tá, Guilherme?
Isso, já falei para ela. Aí...
Gente,
mas vamos falar um pouco do projeto, né, Kézia?
Vamos falar do projeto enquanto a gente não adiciona ela. Beijo a todos vocês, meus lindos amigos, lindos, maravilhosos, que estão aqui com a gente, que estavam com saudade da gente. Acabou o verão, né, Guilherme? Agora a gente volta com tudo.
Outono, né?
Outono vem com tudo. Outono vem com tudo. Mas vamos falar da nossa brand.
Vamos.
Que estava aí sentindo falta. Gente, cadê o Guilherme? Cadê a Kézia nas lives? Cadê o Guilherme e a Kézia nos podcasts? Você que estava com saudade da gente. Eu preciso dizer para vocês o seguinte, a gente ama vocês, mas a gente precisou tirar um break, porque a gente estava participando de muitas reuniões, de muitos encontros, a gente estava fazendo muitas parcerias para validar a nossa marca. Fazer um filme, gente, eu pensava assim, só precisa ter alguns milhões de dólares, a gente consegue fazer um filme, a gente só precisa estar nos lugares certos, com as pessoas certas, a gente consegue fazer um filme. Não é bem assim, É uma jornada de muito tempo. A gente precisa construir um relacionamento com toda a indústria de entretenimento, e é o que a gente tem feito. Agora, como é que você que está aí na sua casa pode validar e ajudar a gente a validar o Artificial Heart? Primeiro, já é um livro, você pode adquirir os nossos produtos, a camisa, as garrafas, as xícaras, todo o produto do Artificial Heart você já pode adquirir na loja da Amazon, já está disponível para vocês, tá? O link está aí nas nossas redes sociais. Segundo, nós estamos em todas as redes sociais, estamos aqui no Instagram, no YouTube, estamos... Quem mais estamos? Guilherme, meu Deus, daqui a pouco ele volta. Enquanto ele sai e volta, a gente continua aqui conversando. Então você pode estar adquirindo todos os nossos produtos em todas as plataformas. Só que, olha que legal, quando você apoia o nosso projeto, você vai ter a oportunidade de ter o primeiro anime cristão, tá? Rodando no seu principal streaming que você assiste. Você assiste aonde? No Paramount Plus, no Netflix, aonde mais você assiste? No Amazon, na Amazon Prime Video, né? Você assiste na Apple TV, desemera. Não importa qual plataforma que você assista, nós vamos ter a oportunidade de lançar o primeiro anime cristão, tá? Então, como é que você apoia esse projeto? Comprando os produtos, que são extremamente acessíveis, gente. Na verdade, a gente converte todo o dinheiro de produto que a gente vende do Artificial Heart para validar a marca, para poder chegar em mais lugares, para poder investir no projeto. Agora a gente precisa de milhares de pessoas apoiando esse projeto para que esse projeto chegue mais longe. E toda essa inquietude que nós começamos foi única e exclusivamente por um motivo. Porque a gente sentiu necessidade de ter um conteúdo que tivesse valor agregado para as próximas gerações, para a galera que está aí meio sem esperança, o mundo está muito down, sabe? Todo mundo dentro das suas bolhas, todo mundo parecendo um monte de zumbi, principalmente depois do great reset que teve depois da pandemia, né? Do grande reset que teve no mundo. As pessoas estão cada vez mais fechadas dentro do seu mundo. Então, a gente está tentando trazer, através desse projeto do Artificial Heart, um pouco de esperança para a vida das pessoas, existe esperança e existem respostas para os nossos porquês. E estamos juntos, tá?
Agora você está aqui! Finalmente!
Somos a turma Artificial Heart. Rapaz, o negócio aqui é tenso pra gente adicionar o povo na live.
Não, é Chicago, Tóquio e Nova York, né? Assim, Princeton, né? Que região metropolitana.
Para tudo. Calma, 1 minuto de silêncio para esse momento importante.
Gente,
nossa, esse podcast, Guilherme, eu falo aqui. Esse podcast é o podcast mais badalado.
Oh, back to English. How's it going, Mugi?
Yes. Doing good. Thank you. How are you doing?
Good to meet you finally. Thank you for accepting our invitation. It's an honor to have you here with us.
Same here. It's a joy.
Mugi, give me a moment. Guilherme, your phone has a little problem because it's returning, it's come back for us. Your voice is back 2 times. I don't know.
Okay, let me figure this out.
How is it now?
It's better.
Better? Okay. Sorry.
Probably the connection for her is a little problem because when he come for live, it's like
oh right, no problem. So let you.
Go ahead, introduce it.
Yeah, so our speaker, everyone, we have all the way from Japan. She's a professional artist. She has years of experience working as an illustrator. And give it up for Mugi Kinoshita. Thank you for being with us here.
Thank you so much.
Mugi,
Can you hear me better? Yes.
Are you in Tokyo right now?
No, I'm in Kyoto.
Oh, Kyoto. Okay, cool. Cool. Would you mind introducing yourself to our folks here that are on the live?
Yes, for sure.
Tell us
I'm
about yourself, like where you're from, and what you're doing right now.
Sure. Okay. I'm a digital watercolor illustrator based in Kyoto, Japan. It's not Tokyo, it's Kyoto. Okay. Okay, so I mainly work for children's books and book covers, but I have worked on the big giant banners like Southern and also illustrators, and also I have been working for publishers and corporation for their corporational concept and other promotional art as well.
Wow, that's amazing. And you have a very interesting story. Both of us, we studied at Southern Adventist University in Tennessee.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
And I kind of wanted to, but I want to get to the part where we talk about your art. But I wanted to know a little bit about how did your passion for art and animation develop? Was that something that started when you were very like young little girl, or was it something that developed naturally? How was the journey to becoming a professional illustrator for children's books?
All right, thank you. So, okay, like since I was little, I always liked children's books so much. I had a big imagination skill. I would say whenever I see pictures and nature, that just gave me a lot of inspiration, and that just gave me new world to kind of imagine myself. So I loved it, and I loved the story, but I never thought this could be my job, because growing up in Asian country, no one believed that art can make money. You gotta go to school, you gotta get in a job. But it was literally God changed my life. I was not Christian, but I went to a high school academy called Saint Hiroshima Gakuin, and there I found Jesus, and I was converted, and that opened my, I guess, the path to the artist. My principal of the school recommended me to go to Southern, which I never expected. So I went there, and I was thinking of going to take a counseling major, which is called art therapy, which is still art, but it's connected with medical field, so I thought maybe I can make money out of it. But for me, learning psychology in English was so hard that I couldn't continue doing it, and I quit right after taking the first class. I just quit. And then my first friend, it was actually Hispanic friend, she took me to an animation professor. His name is Jesse. And at the moment, I was just so tired speaking in English, different environment, and the only thing that I could do was just nod my head, yes. And when I realized I was an animation student without realizing it. So that was the start of me with animation.
It's incredible.
Yes.
my goodness. I had hope for me there.
Yeah, and like, but at the moment, like, okay, God, you put me in this situation that I never imagined, but now there was no choice, but I can pursue art. So animation, 3D animation was not my passion at all at the time, but because it was art, I had the opportunity to draw, and I got the opportunity to learn digital art. So I started painting in my iPad, like myself, like digital watercolor, and kind of I developed by myself. But also in education, I got to learn how to deliver feeling, thoughts, and everything in the story in the animation class. So that actually helped me to eventually a skill to draw art for children's book, which is drawn by story.
My next question for you is every when Guilherme or me invitation someone for coming for this podcast, it's my question every time is how did you end up were there any artist that you inspire you to pursuing career in the art? If you so, who? It's because your career and you told me every time I don't take every time for animation job, but who inspire you? It's an interesting question for me. It's because you told us it's God inspire you. It's very good for me to know that because every gift God give us, it's inspire around the world another one. And then it's my question for you: do you have some artist is inspiring you?
All right, yeah, thank you. So I think my first and the most inspirational person is my grandfather. He's a watercolor painter. I mean, I mean, after retired, he started painting, but he always had a passion to paint. So right after the retirement, he started painting. He went to the world and painted everything. And so I grew up watching it, which I didn't realize. But whenever he let us kind of appreciate the art, or he let us think which art we like the most. So that eventually developed my eye and how to think the composition and everything. And whenever I see watercolor now, I feel at peace, and I look back the memory with my grandpa, and also like this watercolor transparent and kind, like feeling that really is matching the art that I want to make. So I guess he is the biggest inspiration for me.
Wow, it's so cool. Look at you. It's very your grandfather. It's very inspiring because some artists is, oh, I'm inspiring Picasso, I'm inspiring Michelangelo. You know, and then you don't just no, it's my grandfather inspiring me. It's very good for us because it's more familiar. Because when you create your art, you put your heart. Because when you take the pencil for making any animation, you think how good memory do you have for your grandfather? You know what I mean?
Right.
So good. Go ahead, Guilherme. Next one.
No, for sure. So Mugi, we're I guess in the story of your journey, we're still in the U.S. and you came to this new country.
Right.
What were some of the challenges that you found in like adapting to the reality? What were some of the differences coming all the way from Japan? Was this your first time out of the country when you came to the U.S. to Southern?
Right. It was a lot of differences, I guess. So let me think. All right. Like whatever, any differences?
Is it like a culture, like a language, like a habit?
Yeah, Like, were there anything that were like very different, like food, culture, like were there challenges that you faced in adapting?
Is it
All
difficult for
right.
you? No, it's pretty easy.
I guess the biggest one would be bathroom. Yeah.
How so?
So, okay. Yeah, I mean the bathroom and bathtub, I guess. I need a toilet, like whenever you go to the like school or public toilet, there's always space on the bottom or a little bit edge of the door, which also like on top as well, which makes me so insecure. Like in Japan, it's a very kind of protected by all the door is out and maybe a little bit of space in the bottom, but not really. But it was like, wow, it's very like I feel very uncomfortable with this. And also the bathtub, which in Japan, like we love going to the bathtub, which is not connected to the toilet, you know. So it's separated. You have a room only to take shower, to have a bath, because it's the time to relax. I don't wanna smell of the toilet. I don't know. Anyway, that was where, like, especially in the winter, I really wanted to feel comfortable in this bathroom, but sadly, I couldn't in US.
Oh my god.
So that's okay. That was like, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what I think of the first. But like, other than that, like, I really like American people though. They are very friendly. And I think it's because of the culture and the grammar and the like vocabulary and everything that really helps you to speak very clearly, like straightforward. Because in the grammar, verb comes right after the subject, which tells you what you want to do at first, right? But in Japanese language, like the verb comes to the end, so we kind of have to listen to why and the excuse and everything, the reason, and to be able to know what they really want to say in the end. So that really gives me patience, and sometimes I couldn't really tell my honest feeling because I really need to care what other people think and stuff. So, but in America, like, even you have a very different opinion, you guys really respect each other because it's very like multicultural country. So I really like that, okay, I can be more myself and I can be very clear what I want to say, and it was very helpful to understand what they really are thinking and what kind of thought and feeling that they have in their heart. So I really like that aspect of American people, yes.
How is it different from Japanese, like the communication in that respect that you just mentioned?
Oh, I'm sorry?
In Japan, do you have, how is Japan different in that example that you gave? Is it more you don't speak? You
Okay,
can express your feelings?
I think, okay, so yes, they express their feeling and everything, but it's a very different way, and it's not really straightforward, okay? So for example, sometimes we don't want to say no straightforward, or so because we really care so much for others. We are very gentle and sensitive person. So for example, you invite me to like eat dinner with other friends, right? And then I have a schedule something on that day, and I have to say no, or maybe I'm so tired that I don't want to go. I wouldn't say no. I would say, oh, thank you so much for your invitation. I'm so happy about it, and I think you're very, very kind. But you know, like I kind of have a schedule on that day, and I really wanna go, but maybe next time, maybe like I really wanna go, but maybe next time, please invite me, alright? And so thank you so much, and yeah, kind of thing. So we kind of like
Got it.
say like no, but it just takes a little bit more time.
So
Wow.
it's more indirect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't be too direct. Like no, yeah, it's more.
Polite.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's kind of typical. And maybe some people say straightforward, but that's what I feel about this language. Yeah.
It's you know, it's different countries usually have different habits in the cultures, in the food. When you train for another one, for another country, we need very fast, adaptive in your life, your habits, and it's oh my goodness. Look at this guys. For example, I have one friend, this Russian girl. When she told me, look, Kezia, when I don't like anything, I told you I don't like it. But in my culture, if he told you directly, I don't like it, it sounds like it's stressful for me or like uncomfortable or rude. But she told me, no, in my culture, this is not is rude, it's normal. It's for normal conversation. And then it's different. It's very important for us because we have different experience. It's cosmopolitan experience. It's more it's different cultures. It's strange when they start, but it's good in some ways, different ways. My next question for you is I read your bill and that you were looking toward a very successful career in animation, but switched to illustration. How did you switch your course?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the last sentence again?
I read in your bill, you are animation illustration, right? But
Right.
you switched
Right.
from animation for illustration. How
Right.
did that switch a course?
Maybe like I can explain like why I did it and then how I did it, right? Alright, like I said, I always had a passion for illustration since I was little. So when I was taking animation classes, which I really liked, but I questioned myself when I was junior, do I really want to pursue this career? And then my answer was no. And I prayed, God, hey God, what is it? Like, I know I wanna be an illustrator, but I know it means I'm gonna be a fine artist, which is gonna be the very hard job that you gotta, like, like promote yourself, get job by yourself, and everything is very, very, very hard, which I have heard from professor and everyone. But it was literally a miracle that God did to me. So God gave me a confidence after I had 10 days of prayer in January. So I started the 10 days of prayer in art department at Southern Adventist University. And when I hosted, which was just 30 minutes, praying together, and I shared a spiritual message. And little by little, each day, students started coming, and then some shed their tears, saying, I have learned how to pray for the first time. I knew God, but I never met him like this. Or my every answer, my prayer was answered. It was just a miracle, my miracle each and every day. And then it also eventually became a best friend in art department, which really connected people, especially during the COVID-19. And so I was motivated by this testimony, and I started sharing this testimony in my Instagram using my illustrations. And then Text and Symbols at the Managed Design Company reached out to me, hey, we are looking for an illustrator who can do a monthly magazine art for the last section for the children's story. So yeah, I say yes. So since then, I've been doing the illustration, and then through that time, I started having the art art commission from university, and like it is written and other places, even from Japan. And I was like, wow, after I put my heart in God, God opened my door for my future, and He really made my dream come true. So then I was like, okay, I just trust you, God. And when I prayed, God gave me another door, which is to doing a children's book illustration right after my graduation. So I was sure that, okay, I don't know after this commission, but I trust you. So that's how I decided to be an illustrator instead of being an animator.
Wow, it's very incredible. You consider yourself like one faithful woman? It's because every time when you take one decided, you ask for God. God,
Right.
what do you need me? What inspire me? Do you consider yourself like one faithful woman?
I hope so. Because it's always ups and down, but as an artist, I cannot do anything without God because there is always comparison around the artist, and you never know if this art value, there is a value, and I don't know if people like it. So I think it's very hard, but if I have God, He always said that you are fearfully, wonderfully made in God's image, and He has a passion for me, which is the plan that is created like even before I was born here. And everything works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. So for me, praying and asking God is an assurance because like if I pray and if it doesn't go well, I can still think, okay, it doesn't go well. That's His plan, so I'll be okay anyway. And if it goes well, then I can think, okay, praise God, that was His plan. So I will do my best to finish this job no matter what. And I know I can finish because you chose this for me to do. So that's why I want to be faithful to God anytime. Yeah.
Do you think in your country, do you feel comfortable about shareable animation or illustration about Christian ideas? Because in the Japan is animation is normal for culture. Everyone, the old ladies, old guys uses animation for everything. Is entertainment in Japan is normal. But do you think it's difficult for you talk about God in your project?
Right. Okay. I am very comfortable sharing it because like I actually did. I was in a business community for a year, and I always thought that I am Christian. And also, when I started talking about my career and experience, I have to explain about God because that's how I became an artist. So whenever I shared it, they never rejected me. They accepted me the way I am, and they even told me like, "Wow, now I understand why your illustration is very heartwarming and loving." It was because I always share that when I was in high school, God saved my lost heart, and He really gave me love, and that really opened my door. So that's why I want to share this love of God to anyone who sees my art. So anyone who listened to me, the business people, they were like, wow, that's beautiful. So that's why I share and this is who I am, this is who I create my art. So if they don't understand my identity in Christ, I don't know if I can work, and if they do not accept me, then maybe the art that I create not going to fit what they really want, because all my creation is including like the idea of love of Christ.
No, sounds good. Sounds incredible. Go ahead, Guilherme.
Wow, no, this is really, really amazing conversation, and really great to see you being able to kind of integrate your sin, including your faith, into your work. But I wanted to know, you've gone through this experience, right? You've gone through all these challenges. What advice would you give to your younger self, or maybe to another young person, a young artist that's looking to make it, to have a career like you in the illustration business? What are some of the challenges? I think you talked about some of them. You know, you have to be very honest about who you are, right? But what are some like tips, or what are some important things that you think you would have even like to have heard yourself when you were younger and you were starting, and that you would share with somebody who's now wanting to be in that business of art and illustration?
Right. Let me think about it a little bit. So, yeah, if you are Christian, I really recommend to pray and hang on to God. I even had a time that I did not get income, that I questioned if this is my career. But I prayed, I trusted, and I always talked to wise counselor who believed in me and prayed for me. That helped me keep going and eventually opened the door to do so many incredible projects that I am doing right now. If I had given up at the moment, I wouldn't have this wonderful experience. And I was able to keep going with my positive attitude because I had a God in me. And with the prayer, I always was hopeful in God. So that was my tips to keep going in like mental, like health and everything. But for the skill, I would say keep practicing, keep improving yourself. Even if you have to work like other than art, you can do, but please continue like even 5 minutes a day. Continue drawing and painting, and that really will help you to get to where you want to be in the future. And whenever like there is some different idea from other people, I usually try not to accept what they think on my art. And yeah, it sometimes can hurt my feeling, but that's the time that I can grow more. So even their critical thinking and feedback, I really appreciate it. And then I kind of accept myself and analyze if it's gonna good for my art, how I can change it. And I try not to be arrogant to myself, but I want to be a little bit more flexible in that way. I'm gonna have praise that I can grow more. So that way my art has been changing in a good way, and that's been developing my style and everything. And also in the communication, I try to be thankful for every opportunity that they give. So whenever I'm very thankful, like I can be very loving to others. And even when they make a mistake, even my boss or someone who commissioned me, maybe sometimes make a mistake or give me different like information to make art, I don't really get angry. Yes, I can get a little bit irritated for sure, but I try not to, and I explain why like it's a little bit comfortable for me, but I will do anyway, and I still be thankful for this opportunity, and I explain that yes, this program may be the opportunity for me to grow and make this art a little bit more, really better. So I will continue doing so, and I'm gonna still be thankful for this mistake and problem, and that really lift up the spirit of the working environment, not just me, but the people who work with. So I try to be more positive whenever I work with someone in a team.
Oh, so nice. Okay. My next question is because everyone, if I know, it's everyone loved Asian cultures. It's because the food is delicious, martial arts, drama, it's Asian culture is incredible for everyone. When every corner here has one restaurant, is Japanese, Chinese, Korean, Japanese, Korean and Chinese together.
She's in
everyone.
Chicago, Mugi. You're in Chicago, right, Kezia? Yeah, I'm near New York. I'm in Princeton.
In New York is the same. Everyone loves Asian culture. But my question is, K-pop, every new generation loves K-pop. And it's how did it impact your Christian habits with industrial is let me read exactly. I need to for explanish better for you. Do you enjoy your family when you returning for Japan? How do you feel about because when it's coming for here, you study here, but when do you return? How impacting for your life when do you return? Because my experience when I coming from United States in 2015, I live when I stay here. It's different. Everything is different. It's incredible for me. It's, oh my goodness, I love this country. But when I return from Brazil, I feel a little frustrated because I love my country. I love my people. But it's different. His habits is there doesn't work anymore. It's because we need it outside the box sometimes. I think it's different ways. You know what I mean? When do you come, your original culture had been packed in your life. When do you return to Japan? How do you feel about it?
Oh, all right. So it's like inverse culture shock when I go back home, right?
Exactly. Is it shock for you? Oh no, it's normal. I love my country. I love your country too. But how do you feel?
Yes. I felt like I am a foreigner when I come back from US. It's because, do you know convenience store? Like, okay, in Japan we say konbini, and there everything is equipped, like even medical stuff, food, even clothing, and even skincare. And when I when I got into there, I found a food packed in a nice container with very well decorated on top of it. And then I was like, wow. And I checked the price and it was less than $5. Like, wow, it's so high quality food, which is very nice and delicious, and yet it's very cheap. How can you do it? That's like my surprise. So like food especially, I am very unhappy when I come back home. But other than that, like cultural thing, like I said that there was a time that I hurt my family because I started saying things straightforward, because that really changed me when I was in America, that I was able to say yes and no very clearly. So in that way, I have to adjust myself again to be a little bit more in direct way, to be a little bit more careful what I have to say. how to communicate with others and how to respect elderly by changing the word. In Japan, they use a word especially to respect others. So I totally forgot the word when I came back to Japan. It's my kind of Americanized accent. So that was kind of struggle for me as well.
For me, it's frustrating because my accent is terrible too. But honestly, right now, I don't care anymore because I suffer a lot about that.
Nah, you're all good.
Thank you. That was this kind of for me.
Yeah,
But
both
I don't
of
care
you. I wish my Japanese was as good as your English. Yeah. But Mugi, we wanna Instagram Live. It has a limit. I think we're almost through the limit of time, and we really wanted to thank you. It's been really an honor. I know we've been planning this live for a while now, and it's really a pleasure to have you here. Like we're very glad, and hopefully we can have more lives in the future. And the reason Kezia and I were very good friends, her husband's a very good friend of mine, and he introduced me to her podcast, which is this platform that you're on. And it started with this project called Artificial Hearts, which is an anime readaptation of a book called The Brothers Karamazov. Yeah, so
nice.
yeah. Yeah, so it's like a manga, style kind of animation, because we really wanted to communicate this message of a book. It's called The Brothers Karamazov. It's a novel by a famous Russian writer called Fyodor Dostoevsky, that has like a spiritual Christian theme that I think resonates with the experiences that you told us about. And I think we all have to stick together, right? I think all of us were in places where people are searching for meaning, where people are suffering, where people really need reasons to live. And I think that God, Christianity can really help provide an explanation and give hope for tomorrow, and for us to live another day. And I wanted to know, Artificial Hearts here, this podcast, we're dedicated to humanizing the hearts that have become cold through secular humanism, through art, right? You're an artist. How do you think that your art, that your illustration can help, bring hope and humanize, people that maybe have become, depressed or despaired because of life and that need a reason to live?
Okay, so my strength will may be able to help those who is struggling, because my art is not like graphic art, but more likely was inspired or drawn by story. So eventually, I really want to create the children's books throughout biblical story, because Bible story is already incredible. And by creating children's books which can be understood by anyone from young age to elderly, be able to share gospel really, I guess, easily, especially in a country like Japan, who really don't know anything about Christ or story about it. I think there are so many people who don't know their identity. They are looking for truth, but in a different thing. And I really think that God's love is the only thing that can help from their heart, which I believe. So that's like my goal. But like until then, I continue creating art through prayer and praise. And I'm just hoping that anyone who see my art in a website, in a TV, or in a bookstore, even in a little bit moment when they see, my hope is that they find peace, healing in their art, and they think something different. And when they start thinking or get curious about me, maybe my story, how I became an artist, can help them to know or to meet Jesus in person. So that's my hope, and that's how like I create my art, any job that I was able to receive.
Mugi, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. I'm just gonna give the word to Kezi if she has any final words. But I just on myself, I just want to say thank you so much. It's been really a pleasure having you here with us. And to those of you who are watching us, if you wanna keep seeing a little bit more of this great, amazing content, seeing some amazing artists like Mugi, don't forget to like and subscribe. Please support our platform, and we hope to have more. We have to have you again, Mugi, at another time, and talk more about art, culture, and faith. And I'm gonna let Kezia now have the final word and conclude. Thank you, Kezia.
Absolutely. My just final words for you is thank you too for your time, for sharing with us your experience. But just one more thing. Do you think Artificial Hearts is one project is available for industrial in Japan? For example, do you think it's some companies in Japan like, no, this project is interesting for us because it's totally different stories. What do you think about?
Okay, sorry, can you explain your question again?
Yes, it's Artificial Heart. Do you think it's Artificial Heart has one space for some companies in Japan, animation companies, thinking, this project is interesting for us? What do you think? Do you think? Do you have? We have opportunity there for. I don't know. I ask for God. God, open the door for us. Open the opportunity for us. What do you think about Japan industrial?
Right. That's a good question. Right now, I don't know the answer, but possibility though, I think is that. So like I said, there are so many people who is going to the spiritualism right now in Japan. Many people are looking for a truth.
Wow.
So, and some people, yeah, because of COVID and everything that they have no control on it. And so in that way, some people are curious about religion. They want to know, but they don't know how to get that. Well, going to churches may be such a high word that they cannot do it. So in that case, this may be the opportunity for them to know God casual way and anime that they are familiar with. So in that way, this will be a great way to kind of teach what the religion is, and also sharing what Jesus did for us. So, like if, for example, even like a CEO, when they want to have a business with like Israel and or any people who is abroad, they first need to understand their culture, which is religion, right? So at that time, they want to know what is Christianity. Otherwise, they cannot have a good relationship to have a business with them, right? So there are some CEO.
Her internet is loading now, but I understand what her told us. It's, I don't know. Sometimes I ask for myself, God, what do you think about Artificial Heart? Why you give us this project?
Yeah.
I don't know the answer right now, but God has one proposal, Guilherme, for that.
Right.
It's big proposal. This is Mugi with us. No, it's just
I think
normal podcast. This is his proposal podcast because I think it's very. I don't follow her. Probably the internet is down.
Yeah.
And then.
Well, we were done anyway, so.
Yeah. And then Guilherme, my last question for her is, what think it has opportunity? Do you? It's I feel more confident for talking about that if he heard. It's. Do you think? Did you think we have the opportunity there
Yeah,
for open the doors in different companies for apply one pitch for what I
yeah.
mean?
That's what it looked like she was saying, right? It sounded like she seemed very positive about it, that there is room for like uh, a, f- a faith inspired kind of work that will make people think about, these very kind of deep questions of ultimate reality, right? So it's a shame that unfortunately our live was already gonna end, but it was really a pleasure having her here. We hope to have her again on a better internet connection. But we really hope you enjoyed it.
I try join her again, but I don't find her anymore.
Yeah,
Probably
it's
internet is
okay. I think she's probably gonna email. I think there's probably something with her internet connection.
not. Mm-hmm.
And our time is also up. But stay tuned for part 2, right? There'll be other opportunities.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
What do you think, Guilherme, for this podcast? This podcast today. Do you like it?
No,
What?
I enjoyed it a lot. I think it was really cool to hear her journey of faith as a Christian artist.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was very interesting how God acted in her life. And I think very beautiful. I think to hear how she's in an environment where there's very very little religious presence,
Mm-hmm.
but she's been able to bring her faith into her work. Right. I think that's an example for all of us to not be afraid. To speak openly about our faith, about who we are. And I think she's producing amazing art. We'll send the link. Kezia will put it when we edit this,
Mm-hmm.
so you can check out some of her art. And we also hope to be having more artists from Japan joining us here. So stay tuned. And next week, we're actually going to go back to join some of our friends in Brazil that are going to be here. Yeah, we are. But I don't want to spoil it, Kezia. I'm not going to spoil it. So don't. So you guys are going to have to stay tuned and join us again.
She's
Oh,
coming
she's
again. Just
coming back. Okay, so we'll do a little formal goodbye. Yeah. So yeah, Kezia, I think you can do the formal goodbye.
Okay.
Mugi, glad to have you back.
So
We're
sorry.
just talking about how great the live was with you,
Oh,
and
thank you.
we really wanted to thank you. So I think we all, those of us in the U.S. and Japan that are kind of doing this kind of work, we really got to stick together,
Right.
and hopefully, who knows, in the future we can do more collaborations and work together to use art, use visual media to kind of communicate hope, healing to people that need it, that are looking for a reason to live, right? So we just wanted to
Amen.
thank you. I think I speak for both of us that it's really been a blessing having you here with us, and we look forward to more collaboration in the future. And who knows, doing a little bridge, Chicago, Kyoto.
And you.
But
So
anyway, thank you
sorry.
again. We really appreciate you for your time. And send me again the address for us to send you your complimentary mug.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Sounds
Thank you.
the last word for us. Your Maggie, your last word for us.
All right, yeah, for sure. It was my joy and honor to be here, and thank you so much for having me. And I really appreciate your heart for Jesus and want to do this podcast and all the work to share gospel and for those who is lost in this world. And my hope is the same. Maybe in the future we can do something together to do our work for Christ. And Yeah, I wish the best for you. And if you have, like anyone who is listening here, watching, if you have any question about Japan or like how to be a Christian artist and anything, I'm happy to answer any question. I mean, I'm still growing and not a perfect artist. I'm not perfect Christian, but if anything I can help, I'm happy to. So thank you so much, everyone.
Absolutely. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye
See you next
bye.
Bye, bye. Você que é brasileiro, né? Espero que você tenha gostado, né? Ela é uma artista muito renomada no Japão, né? Que está fazendo um trabalho fantástico, né? De trazer esperança por meio da fé cristã e por meio da arte.
Nossa, né, Guilherme?
Não, foi muito legal, foi muito legal mesmo, muito bacana mesmo.
E a galera que não entendeu, assim, tipo, ai, eu entendi, mas não entendi. Você tem a oportunidade de assistir no YouTube com a legenda em português, então você vai conseguir entender tudo que a gente perguntou. Eu espero que o tradutor consiga me traduzir.
Não, eu acho que eu só espero que o negócio foi a internet, né? Então a gente ora pela paciência. O conteúdo, assim, o conteúdo é fantástico, né? Então, assim, se você tem é só vencer, né, as inconveniências, né, da conexão, mas realmente foi um conteúdo fantástico.
Voltamos com tudo, né, Guilherme? Agora
semana que vem, viu, galera? Não esqueçam.
Toda quarta-feira a gente está aqui junto. Se eu não estiver com algum convidado, provavelmente o Guilherme estará, ou nós dois, ou nós três. Eu e o Guilherme, mais um convidado. Você é muito bem-vindo a se juntar conosco, a apoiar nosso projeto. Mostra as novas canecas, Guilherme, os novos modelos.
Olha, galera, essa aqui é uma
linda, tá? Você que quer dar para sua namorada, para o seu namorado. Isso. Agora tá chegando, né, Guilherme? Thanksgiving.
É a Thanksgiving, é o Natal.
Aí de Natal, também. Você pode... e como é que você faz para comprar essas xícaras? Você pode entrar na nossa loja da Amazon, amazon.artificialhearts.com, e você vai conseguir adquirir. O preço é super acessível, velho. Realmente a gente colocou um preção assim maravilhoso, só para você poder apoiar o nosso projeto, compartilhar, comprar, e todo o dinheiro que a gente vender de todos os produtos, todos os merchants, serão convertidos nesse projeto para que em breve você possa assistir no seu principal stream. Um abraço, fiquem com Deus e nos vemos na próxima semana. Tchau, Guilherme.
Tchau, galera. Tchau, Kézia. Tchau, pessoal. Obrigadão. Tchau.